a chance to look over the conservation regulations from the state?
Some, yeah.
Yeah, there's some rereading it right now.
6:31, let's bring this meeting to order. Whatever we talk about, because when people join us, we can go there, but if we want to talk about this until people show up. Or
We don't want to start talking about this and then get interrupted.
is Jenny will join?
She was planning on it, but she had a family emergency, so she won't be here today.
Did you get the main deal?
Yes.
Think we should stop recording until they show, or?
I mean, we can cut it if we need
That's
to.
up to you. You know what you're doing. I'm just,
Yeah. It's also possible the applicants might not attend. I don't know if I'm like confirmed with the College Hill applicant. I don't think anyone is able to attend for the Liberty application. We are allowed to review them without it being possible.
so who's up there now? The first one is us, right? Town of Woodstock. And then community development, who's the second? The arm.
Oh, we have to have two computers going, so that's my
Okay,
computer.
so they're both us.
Yeah, they're both us.
Okay.
Yeah, the iPad can't share
I got
the
you.
agenda, so I have to have my computer as a co-host, so I can share the agenda from here. Just have as many screens as possible.
Should probably get a third one.
Exactly. And simultaneously control these to have different things on them and just really.
In threes, things have been threes, right?
Exactly.
So we put that TV back up there too, so we can see it from any angle. What is it later?
This meeting does make me realize I need better. I mean, I don't really have prescription glasses. These are like some level of reading glass, but either way, it's hard.
Makes it feel like better. I have pretty good vision. It's a little bit of a challenge too.
And
Yeah, I can't read that.
everything going well? I haven't seen you in like months. Same.
Yeah, busy,
Good.
busy, very,
I mean, good busy or too busy?
there are definitely times where it's too busy. way too much going on. Can't get everything done, but every day regardless, day starts at 4:30 and kids don't go to bed till like 7:30 and they don't go to bed right away, so sometimes it's 8 o'clock. And then it's after 8 o'clock, I might be able to get something done. So,
Wait,
yeah,
I did see Byron in the alumni parade.
yeah.
Were you there?
I was not, I was on kid duty and
I-
they were napping.
I didn't have a chance to snap him fast enough, but, and then I was behind. I was down by, the bank, Bar Harbor.
Mhm.
So I didn't recognize him at first. I mean, I did, but I didn't see, I didn't pay attention. And then when I finally connected, I said, "What?" And he's okay.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
We got someone up there.
That's Emily.
Oh, but we could talk about Emily now. Pretend that we don't know that she's here.
Exactly, yeah, if you have any critiques or, things that you'd like.
Slam the table a little bit.
I mean, and in person, it'd be a lot better.
Oh, okay, it sounds like Emily's applicant will not be able to attend today.
Which,
And I don't think mine can attend. So if you want to review the application without them present, you're welcome to.
Just with what we have.
Yeah.
Well, the first one seems pretty, I know that's the whole thing is an issue, but this particular request, and it may not be an issue for our commission, but but this particular request of moving the planter from one place to another seems
yeah,
pretty tiny. Is it because it's in the?
It's in the
100-year
floodplain.
floodplain?
Yeah, so they're moving the existing sign. It's the same as before. It's already in the floodplain. They're literally just moving it across the driveway, but it had to go before you because of the.
Because of that, so it's a technicality in a sense, but I don't see it,
It's better.
having to change, having to,
yeah.
again,
Just,
I have my concerns about what's going on, but that's not what we're talking about today, so.
yeah, it's just moving the sign.
Yeah.
Yes, so they're just moving it across the driveway, so
I would.
the
I would
floodplain
move-
coordinator is fine with it.
I would move that we accept the movement of the sign, that would be my, so we don't waste any time on that.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Perfect. Good job.
Yeah,
Moving right along.
And we wish they were all that.
yeah, well, I bet you we'll see them again, but, maybe
That's
not.
particular.
Yeah. This is College Hill Road.
Yeah. They're not adding anything. Well, they're not adding any square footage. They're just building up.
Yeah, it sounds like they have a passageway built out between the house and the garage.
Mhm.
And they're just sort of enclosing the existing.
Yeah.
Oh, like a breezeway. Oh, I see, right
Yeah,
here.
they're-
This is,
They're-
So they're gonna fully
they're
enclose it.
enclosing. Okay,
Yeah.
so they had a breezeway.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Now they're filling it in.
Yeah,
Did the breezeway have a roof? Is that a roof there?
No.
No.
no, it's open. So, I mean, potential for a tiny bit more runoff,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's,
Already impervious.
yeah.
Was that, and that's dirt underneath?
No, it looked like there's pictures if you keep going further back. One, like right there, you can kind of see it's. And it's on, actually, it's on that big hill right there.
Mhm.
Like right when you look at this picture.
Yeah, it's here because it's in steep slopes.
Yeah. Steep slopes, but it's, looks like it's brick. Is that brick right there?
This is, where is this?
11 College Hill. And it is brick, yeah. The existing breezeway.
What is the, what are we looking at in the background here? So there's the Ottaquiche.
Yeah.
What is this? What is that?
The rec center.
Oh, the
You can
rec
see the
center.
pool right there.
Okay, all right. I know, now I got it. And so they wanna close in between these two.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just connecting them essentially.
It is, does look steep though.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, is that our area of concern? Is it that under your floodplain? I'm not.
It's not in a floodplain.
This one, it's in steep slopes. So this,
What?
it's in steep slopes on College
Steep
Hill,
slope,
so it's
yeah.
25% slope.
Okay.
But the area that they're enclosing is already, it has already been flattened for the breezeway.
If you look
They're
at
just
the
like
backside,
using on top of it.
they have their deck, wraparound deck already over there.
Yeah, but times of significant rainfall, like a few nights ago. We got like 3 inches of rain. The, I think it's a gamble that having that roof there doesn't, as you said, it slides it off.
Mhm.
It's gonna come off on the slope side down
And it's gonna collect from the barn or the
as
garage
well.
down onto that roof.
Right, and so you've got the barn, right, exactly, the barn's gonna come down. And this is the backside, and then it's coming back, so that as you, so there's deck there,
Yeah,
but it's not level, I mean, that's a, there's not level ground under the deck that doesn't look
No.
like to me.
Nope.
And this is all, I mean, that's all pretty steep, I have some concerns. It's a lot of stuff there, oh, geez.
well, if they can pull this off, what are your thoughts for recommendations on to prevent erosion on the downhill side? I mean, you could either do rock on like an extended drip edge rock to help.
You mean under the porch type area?
Yeah, or where the roof, where all that water is now gonna. And then, or some maybe like large rock to help stabilize the soil.
Oh, you know, it's hard to see, and that you're talking about, like, so what
Yeah,
is
down
this
in here.
stuff? Maybe that is rock.
There,
I
it
can't
might,
tell.
yeah, I can't tell either.
Look over here, that looks sort of like rock there.
Yeah,
Um,
picture from the back. There's not a whole lot of. And there's a house below it too.
And there is a pretty robust like culvert / drainage system on that hillside there, because it goes right down to Route 4. So I know the town upgraded some of the culverts in there a few years ago.
oh, you're talking about this other house down here?
Yeah,
Hey. Be nice to see it sliding all down the hill like that,
because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of like large vegetation on the downhill side, some shrubs.
I mean, that would be another consideration that it has, like this. This is pretty.
That's on the opposite side, so that it's gonna be way over there on the right where the addition is.
Boy, this look. You know,
This is one site visit would have been helpful.
A site visit might be something that we'd want to recommend, because it's hard to.
You get a better picture of what's there and
Yeah,
could make a more informed recommendation.
absolutely.
Yeah, and there's so much, there. I mean, look at the front. This looks like just a little house, right? And then from the other side, it looks, especially with if they were to,
I was looking at the drawing.
it's not,
Yeah.
it looks like a motor inn, you know?
Also, I mean, maybe not a permit necessarily, but this is, I mean, the permit, you just read the lines from the permit, one line. You're gonna close in the entry and then reconstruct the deck, but I mean, this is a big remodeling job. I mean, they're asking for sounds relatively benign in the description here.
Hmm.
But if you look at the before and after,
Yeah,
they're talking, they're gonna recite it all. I mean, they got bricks here or shingles, and that it's all different siding, the roof. And I see they've got talking about this, the engineer stuff, they're talking about, minimizing sediment, different retainers, things to stop runoff while they're.
hmm,
Even while they're doing the work.
Yeah.
Sediment control, sedimentation fence, I mean, all pretty standard stuff.
Yes.
When I was in business, I mean, this is.
Yeah.
Anything above a wetland or a steep slope, you gotta put this stuff in. But they're digging, significant footings in there.
And I think we should take into consideration, the house below. Which it isn't addressed, but I can't imagine. Potential, that we should ignore the potential, again, site visit would. Certainly help that. Is that something we can do, Molly, is say that, we would. Not make a recommendation. Until we've scheduled a site visit for that?
That's not something that we can legally require. You can recommend to the TDRB that they perform a site visit.
We wouldn't do the site visit?
Well, if you recommended to them that they hold one, that's something that you could attend and, provide guidance during, but we can't compel them to attend a conservation meeting, and we can't hold up the application for an advisory board legally. So it's not really something that we can request of the applicant.
Well, then I would more strongly word that we would reject. We would reject this without a site visit. And then we might list some of the reasons, some that you've just brought up. Concern for steepness of the slope. A building directly below.
Probably not our concern.
that,
I'm just guessing.
yeah, but also like what you were pointing out, like what they were asking us from this meeting to construct a new entry corridor. But then looking at the plans, it's like, it's way more extensive than that. Which again, that is not us also.
Yeah,
But-
I just brought that up for
Yeah.
discussion's sake, and
Yeah.
obviously it's far more than just closing in a 20 breezeway.
Yeah.
I would just. At this time, I could not support this. It doesn't mean I have a closed mind, but. And the fact that they're not here to answer questions on it, adds to that as well.
Okay. Like to put that to a vote?
I would, move that we not approve or not, recommend, this application, without the, planning commission. Or is that TDRB? Which one?
TDRB is the board.
TDRB.
Yeah.
Schedules either with us or with themselves a site visit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, they could choose to ignore us, right?
Yeah.
So we need a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So for future on stuff like this, is it possible to get this agenda more than 2 days in advance so that
Yeah.
we have a chance to?
Absolutely, yeah. We typically try to get those out on Fridays. I forgot to do it because our administrative assistant was out of town, who normally does it, so that's on me. But yes, normally we do try to get those out ahead of time.
This might be asking a bit much, but like, because my life is fairly busy. Is it possible to do like a week and not just the Friday before? Is that a possibility or no?
Or could we just get an email up? Because you have to schedule these. Don't these go out like a month?
Yeah, I need to
Time?
check our calendar on like the date that we require applications. I think typically everything has to be in like 3 weeks before TDRB, and then your meetings are 1 week before TDRB.
It's 2 weeks.
So we should have everything. Sometimes we'll get like final materials the week before, so yeah, we can try to do a week before. It might not be exactly a week if we're waiting for the last few things, but yeah, we can try to give you more time.
Site visit, either separate or a couple of us together.
Yeah, I
It
mean, yeah, even if we each went solo at our leisure, whenever we could
Right,
fit it into our
sure.
life, then at least we all
I mean, this
can put
particular
eyes
one
on
we're
it.
talking about, just
It's right up there, yeah.
right
You can
there.
almost walk now.
And,
Get our evening constitutional.
I mean, back in the old, when I was, Conservation Commission back home, I mean, we had, different role. But site visit was always official part of the thing. We'd go out
Yeah.
a week or two before.
Hmm.
We've done quite a few, but though it's changed, which is on the agenda as well. I mean, the whole concept is. When did those rules go into effect, Molly? What was the date, more or less,
Which,
on the Conservation Commission, what you sent?
the statutes, let me check, I have it up right now.
But it's recent, right?
They were updated during the 2025 General Assembly. This particular section was added in 1977.
77? So all of those years where I never heard of this and none of this ever came into effect. I never bumped into any of the things that are on that list.
Mhm.
Why was that? Why did none of those things get said to us in those previous times? It wasn't said.
Yeah.
Michael Brand was here?
No, I'm not sure that previous zoning administrators were aware of how conservation commissions could be used, because we do know that other towns have conservation commissions that are very active in like land preservation and like their projects related to the removal of invasive species, that sort of thing. And there are a lot of things that you as a commission can choose to do outside of just, commenting on zoning applications.
Right.
And a lot of other towns do use conservation commissions in that way. It just seems like that maybe wasn't something that was done in the past, but it seems like you all are interested in having more of an impact on the community. So, I mean, I looked into it to see what else would be possible, and this is what I found, so. Yeah, I'm not sure why other VAs weren't aware of it.
77, wow.
before my time.
Mhm.
Well, it does add some other things. Is this your list right here? Yeah. Is it just all in one page?
Yeah, it's a whole section.
One section. I mean, there certainly are things that we could pick up, but there's no power to it. I got a call from some new folks who have gotten involved with sustainable Woodstock, and it's more like what some of this just reminded me, it feels more like a nonprofit, you know, project where you could, we could recommend, we could get people, you know, receive money, grants and private gifts. Administer the lands, properties and other rights. Oh,
Yeah.
really? We could do that? Assist the local planning commission or zoning board of adjustment or the district environmental to providing environmental evaluations where pertinent to applications made to those bodies.
And that's what this is.
Yes,
That's
but
the
I
only
don't see
thing
the
that-
limitations there where, but you can't.
That's a
You
separate,
can't insist on a site visit, for example, or,
that's a separate statute that has to do with the powers of quasi judicial boards versus advisory boards. This is just about conservation commission specifically.
well. Well,
Yeah, these are things to consider. I know we've talked about the commission potentially working on grant applications in the past, like the watershed grant that comes out every, I believe it's January. So there are a lot of like state and federal grants that you could potentially pursue.
yeah, well, there, just this group, these new names with sustainable wanna connect with the conservation commission so I guess we could invite them to take some initiative on those things, on any of the, and they have to do with watershed. You know, streams, lakes, ponds, wetlands and floodplains and so forth, and which. I mean, we could let them do that, make an inventory, conduct continuing studies, and then make recommendations, involve the community. We could have,
Mhm.
we could have a session that invites, you know, that we get it in the paper so that people
Absolutely.
could show up here and, you know, based on what gets found. I mean, you know, whatever the issue is. So, but I'm just surprised. I admit, okay, that was yours, but, I'm just surprised because we didn't behave in that way for all of the, how long have I been on this commission? How many,
One time.
8 years, maybe 7, 6, anyway, before COVID. When did Michael Brand leave?
Like 2018, maybe
What year?
around 2018, I want to say.
So I was with him for 2 years, so
18, so that's-
10 years.
Yeah.
And, wow. I'm just surprised.
What my thoughts are on the reading this whole thing, powers and duties of the Conservation Commission. And like, number one, make the inventory and conduct counting studies. I mean, I worked for the Forest Service. They had that's like a full-time job in itself,
Yeah.
not a volunteer position. Like, I definitely don't have time to do an inventory and stuff like that. And so that
is something that you could like involve the community in though, you know, if you as a commission, and you can choose which projects you have the capacity to take on and, you know, get other people in the community involved if you want to take on a bigger project that you don't have time for.
Well, and then there was the guy who then moved to Lebanon or something. What was his name?
But he had his own private project that he had in mind was, that he was involved with was to get landowners to block together, right? There's a term for it, where they would, if you could get it to a particular number of acres in terms of how the forest was
Mhm.
managed, so it was woodland management. And there were grants for, but it had to be of a size, like 5,000 acres or something like that. And there was this one section up on the western side of the town, up in the, I'd have to have a map in front of me, but, and so it could be some things like that, that we, and you and I had talked about dark skies initiatives is something that.
Yeah, that's something we're still looking at.
Which I still have to talk to you about my dark sky, issue, but, anyway, that would be, it would be a different kind of a thing, and, I don't think you're right. I don't think we have the time or the expertise to do, logging of, an inventory.
Yeah,
An inventory thing of all existing, et cetera, whatever the
Yeah.
resources are. But we can, like I said, with these folks seem anxious to get going. And again, they mentioned sustainable Woodstock and say, okay, get going, report back to us. We'll make it known to the public. If they even need us to do that at all, I mean, they could just do that on their own, right? I mean, they could just make an announcement, but I think it'd be good if they could connect with us and make it a partnership in that sense. So a nonprofit committed to the environmental care, working with the town environmental conservation commission, I think might make better headway with some of those things. Which reminds me, this is slightly random, but since you found that law, do you know of any specific regulations that have to do with areas where town water supply aquifers exist? There's nothing in any.
The only thing that we have, at least in our bylaws, I don't know about state law, is when applications are within the aquifer protection area, we just have to send a copy of them to the water company, which is now part of the town. So,
Okay.
yeah, we don't have.
We don't send anything to the state.
Not typically, unless it has to do with like stream bank alteration or something like that. That's a separate, it's not about like aquifer protection. I'm not familiar with what the regulations are for that at the state level.
Because that would be something that town would wish it had protected more carefully if it ever got damaged in some way, because there's no plan B. I don't think there's a plan B. There's no easy plan B, right? If the aquifer fails in some way.
Yeah, I mean, we also have multiple wells. That's not the only source.
Well, no, but it's all the same the wells are all in the
Yeah.
same place, so it's all going in. I'm talking about on the aquifer level, if that is ruined in some way, I'd be curious. I don't think that would be an easy fix for a town that's depending on that water for the village, mostly the village.
Yeah, I mean, if you have specific concerns, you could talk to our water guys and see if they have any suggestions.
Yeah, and there may be I mean, I just wondered what the and
Yeah,
I can't believe the
it's
state
not
doesn't have.
something that we regulate in our zoning regulations, so it's not something I know about.
I was thinking more something on the state, that the state would say, here are standard approaches to evaluating possible risk to a vital water supply on an aquifer basis. Anyway, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's that. So if I wanted to have some of the folks from Sustainable come to a meeting, I could just let you know.
Yeah, let us know so that we can put it on the agenda.
How soon do you need to know before the meeting?
Ideally a couple weeks before.
Like other committees though, we can have,
I mean, you can add it under other business. It's just good practice to have it on there so that we can make sure it's properly warned and noticed. Yeah, it's just good to have it on there so that the public knows that they're going to be in attendance.
okay, all right, that's good.
Yeah, and it might be worth, if you have time over the next few weeks, to take a look at like what other conservation commissions in different towns have been working on. Just like check out a few websites and see, you know, the kinds of projects that they work on, just to maybe get some ideas. And I know all of you have different interests in conservation. I know you care a lot about invasives, Al. So if any of you have ideas about grants or projects, or even just doing like some public outreach, and I know, Al, you've talked about wanting to remove invasive plants in different spots around Woodstock. You know, that sort of thing is.
That's been ongoing. When Michael was here, we had
Yeah.
meetings where there were 2 or 3 different people that he brought in
Mhm.
that addressed specific plants and how they dealt with them, dealt with
Mhm.
Chervil or whatever, you know, just people's experience. And my road, Pomfret, is, you know, it seems worse every year a little bit. I think we're still doing the 1 cut a year, right, on the
Mhm.
side of the roads. That
And that doesn't remove them, it just.
it doesn't, but it was better when it was 2 cuts a year.
You have to cut it before it seeds
Right.
and
Yeah.
then knock it down again, yeah.
But it's expensive. I
Oh,
understood
yeah.
that. I understood a cut is
Yeah.
not cheap.
And I feel like if you wanted to, you could do some sort of public outreach event, like if you know of any experts in invasives, or even people who've just, you know, worked on removing them, and you want to set up some sort of public meeting to, you know, get people involved, and then,
Yeah.
you know, once you have people interested, you can ask them to come out and like help.
Do you hear from Woodstock residents about invasive species? or no?
Not frequently, just because I don't think that's something that they'd come to our department about. But that's the kind of thing that, like, I don't know, we've talked about in our department doing more outreach for our passion projects. And this is kind of like, if you guys have passion projects that you want to, you know, get the community involved in, that's a great way to use the Conservation Commission to make a bigger impact on the community, especially when as an advisory board, you're basically just providing advice to TDRB, and this would hopefully, you know, give you more of a meaningful
Yeah.
impact.
Okay.
Do we want to vote on the minutes?
Anything else? I mean,
No, I don't know.
I just have one
Yeah,
maybe 2 things. It might be
Sure.
the same. Would it be possible to invite TDRB to one of our meetings so that we can talk to them about not just like single case examples, because I mean, they'll get that from our meetings anyway. But like to face to face share our more concerns on like developing sides of things, and how they see it and how we see it, and how we can then become more on the same page
yeah,
of things. And then, because like after reading this, it's like you think about like, okay, so we're part of conservation, they're on development, okay, sweet. So, but if all we can do is recommend and they just don't have to listen to us for whatever reason, it is what it is. But to really voice our concerns on like, okay, if we do develop and keep developing, we are going to lose that prime ag and forest land, because I mean, the thing about all the farms are getting bought up around. And I mean, even my family farm. I mean, that atrocity of a house that's on Prosper Road now is just like, okay, and that was there's a wetland right there, and they worked around it. And so, but because if we keep doing that, we're losing the prime ag land, we're losing the forest land, we're cutting off wildlife habitat, which then you become more of a suburb. And then you get more of like the problem animals, problem bears and problem coyotes or whatever else. It's like, because they have nowhere else to go at that point. And so it's all these concerns that are on our side of things. But I mean, if to really kind of paint that picture that yes, we understand our role, but like to more voice to that again in person, like, okay, if you're not thinking about the whole picture, then we're gonna lose the uniqueness of what Woodstock is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think, I guess the disconnect probably is that TDRB sort of very strictly has to follow the zoning bylaws that we have, and the only reason that they ever, you know, ignore any suggestions that you make is because it isn't something that fits within those bylaws. And if they don't administer them literally, the town can get sued. So they kind of have to be very strict about what is and isn't specifically allowed by the exact wording of our bylaws.
So is that something we could work with them to
Yeah, so I know
rewrite their bylaws or alter their bylaws?
we'd actually just rewrite the village bylaws, and we are about to start going through our town plan, and then a year later we'll get to the town bylaws, which unfortunately we can't open up until we fix the town plan. So
We did go through a
in
pretty
about a year-
massive change on the town plan.
yeah,
For
that
one
was a few
particular
years ago.
farm that wanted to have
Yeah,
a restaurant. Yes, no, that was a plan that changed kind of like that. How is that not true? They just changed the plan. And then
I wasn't here at the time. We have a municipal planning grant to rewrite our town plan currently because it's not consistent with state law. I was not here at that time, so I can't
right, I know,
speak
I'm
to it,
sorry. I don't
but
wanna
from
put you-
what I understand, it was something that multiple people requested be reviewed, and that's part of you can look back at the minutes from that time.
There's like 150 people signed a petition. And,
Yeah.
and then it got slammed through. So that's not out of what, 1,700 voters, 1,800 voters? I forget how many people vote in Woodstock generally. But that was pushed through, and it was pushed through with one particular recipient in mind. So it was.
I do know at the time there were 3 different people who were applying for on-farm restaurants. Because I know I did have to look through all of the minutes from that time.
Well,
months ago, but
or only one made it through that process.
Mhm.
So that's interesting by itself, but,
yeah, I think one of the others went out of business and the other one decided to go somewhere else, but yeah, that's also something that affects all residential 5-acre parcels when 90% of Woodstock is zoned R5. So it's not spot zoning because it allows 90% of the parcels in Woodstock to pursue the same type of application, which was already allowed. They just
I know, but
changed.
what was pushed forward, people that were pushing that proposal admitted it out loud that they wanted this project to go through. This was their,
I think some of the people did.
well, it was pretty clear that that's what was pushed through to me.
Okay. Again, I was in college at the time, so I wasn't
Good for
even in
you.
Woodstock.
But, anyway. There was another one you were gonna say. Was that it?
Oh, not that, yeah, that was
That
pretty
was
much it, yeah.
All right, well,
I wanna look at the minutes real
oh,
quick.
the minutes, right. There's 3 of us here. So let's, That's not that long ago.
Just from last month,
It's crazy.
I know.
Okay, and then the other things we approved, so it was just, really was only the Driscoll. The Driscoll, one.
Yeah. Yep, and then approving the 3 sets of minutes.
Well, I make a motion to approve minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
That was it. 7:17. Yep, 7:17. Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
All right, thank you.
So I do have a question.
Let me just, add this
Is that
meeting.